What's going on, everybody? And welcome back to another episode of Call of Duty Zombies Revisited, where I give my thoughts and opinions on every single Call of Duty Zombies map. And today we have Ascension. So to start off, you start the map coming down on a lunar lander into the spawn room. And at first you do have color, but then as soon as you land, it turns into black and white. And that black and white doesn't come back till you turn on power. And I think this is a really cool detail about the map. It does make it very unique. It doesn't change anything. But like I was saying with 5, it does add a little bit more spice, a little more to the map, just because it's different. It's really not that big of a deal, but it's cool to see. And especially on the Black Ops 3 version, where there's a lot better colors and lighting. Once you turn on power, it looks so much better. In this game, it's not that much of a drastic change compared to BO3, but it's still a very cool detail. And they never did this again. I think it would have been cool if maybe during like an Easter egg step or something on a different map where you kind of lose the color for some reason. I think it happens in like Horizon Drac when you go back in time. I'm just rambling at this point. Anyway, so this is the first DLC map for Black Ops 1. And personally, I think this is probably the easiest map so far, next to Kino or Toten. I would say Kino is probably the second easiest map, and then this map is the easiest just because it added two new perks, PhD Flopper and Stamina Up. Now, personally for me, I was one to never really run Stamina Up. I know a lot of people say it's like a crutch perk and you need it because it makes it easier to train. I could just be stupid, but I never fully understood that just because it gives you more speed. But maybe that's just because I never ran it. I usually just run OG4 perks, Quick Revive, Jug, Beat Coal, and Double Tap. Although Double Tap isn't as good as it in this game, so maybe I should try switching it out for Stamina. But you also have PhD Flopper. And PhD Flopper is the goat of this map. It's what makes it so easy. Now, to get set up on this map, I don't know why. For me, it was such a hard time to set up on this map. There were so many times where I would just die super quick. And so I had to keep restarting the map until I was finally able to eventually get set up. So for me, personally, it was very hard to set up. But then once you set up, you're golden. It's very hard to go down. So the map itself is not too complicated. It's pretty simple. It is, I'm pretty sure, the biggest map so far. It's a decent sized map, a lot of running around, where especially to get Pack-a-Punch open, because you have to go to like the 3 sections of the map to activate the lunar landers, which take you back to spawn, which is nice because you would almost never come back to spawn besides for quick revive. And especially because once you use a lunar lander, you will eventually see the spawn room in color. So I think that's a nice touch, and it kind of gives you like a central hub, and it also gives you an escape route. But basically to get Pack-a-Punch, you activate the 3 lunar landers, and then you go back to the power room, and then you launch a rocket, which is really cool. I believe the map is in a Russian rocket launch facility. It's a cool setting for a map. It's still like dirty and not rubbish, but a lot of rubble. It's dirty and all that, which is fine. It's zombies. That's how it's gonna be. But I do like the setting of this map. I think it looks pretty good. And then after you launch the rocket, you can go to Pack-a-Punch. And this map has not a lot of places, but it has a couple of places to train. So honestly, running around the map isn't too much of a problem. I know for me personally, in like Shinonuma, I'd only want to be in 2 of the locations to train, and in the middle of a round I wouldn't want to leave to go get like a perk in the 2 back areas just because it's just so hectic there. And even in Kino, you don't really want to leave the stage or spawn room, especially not in the alleyway, unless you're good. I believe high rounds for Kino, you would train in the alleyway. But for me, I'm not that great at zombies, so I would always just train on the theater. But this map, I feel very confident in it, especially once you get set up again, to just kind of run around the map and especially train in the PhD room. I feel like that's just the easiest, especially with the lunar lander there. It gives you an easy way to escape. Now, the reason this map is so easy is because of PhD Flopper. Once again, it's the goat of this map. Once you Pack-a-Punch Mustang and Sally, it becomes very hard to down. You just point at your feet and just spam it until all the zombies are gone. You don't even need Speed Cola for it. And then speaking of perks, the boss zombie of this map would be the space monkeys, and I hate the space monkeys. I might hate them more than Nova Crawlers because they come down and they take your perks. And I guess this is why you would want stamina up, so you can get to the areas faster. But the problem is, I just feel like you don't know where they're going, and so you're just always unprepared for what perk they're going after. So it's very hard to get it right. You almost have to get lucky for it. Now the nice thing is that if you kill them without them taking your perks, you get a free perk. However, if they even jump onto the perk machine, you're out of luck. Even if you kill them without them taking your perk, they don't give you the free perk, which I think is messed up. I think it should be if they take your perk, then you don't get the free perk. And so that way it's like if you have more perks, it makes it a lot harder for you to defend them. So you should be rewarded for even if they hop on your perk machine. It's very annoying. I think I only did it once in my playthrough. And then in the box, you have the Gersh device, which I was never able to get. Now, I know Gersh devices are very good because they can also get you out of a sticky situation. If you see you're about to get trapped, just throw that bad boy down. All the zombies will get sucked into it. And I believe that you can run into it and it will teleport you to a random location on the map, which is very nice. It's another RNG thing that zombies has. And like I always say, I feel like RNG is a big part of zombies and testing your luck. And so having that is very cool. The other thing in the box that I was able to get was the Vishkoshra dolls. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Those things are pretty cool. They're like a cluster grenade. So you pop one out and I think it pops into a couple more and it's just a big explosion, which does a good amount of damage. And so even for me, I was in sticky situations sometimes, and it just kills a horde of zombies, at least to the rounds I was at. And then the other thing is the wonder weapon on this map. It's the thunder gun. I'm not gonna complain about it. The thunder gun's very good, and it does make the map even easier than it already is. But I would have liked to see a new wonder weapon on the map. I don't exactly know what it could have been, but the thunder gun does fit on this map. But I think since we already had it in Kino, I think it would have been cool if we saw a different wonder weapon on this map, but it's whatever. It's not too big of a deal. So basically the whole thing with why this map is easy is because of PhD makes Mustang and Sally safe. It makes the Vishkolsher doll safe. And if you don't have those, you have the Gersh devices, which basically, if you're ever trapped, you have about 3 different ways of getting out of it. You can either pull out the thunder gun and blow them all away. You can look at the ground, shoot your Mustang and Sally, or you can throw your Gersh device. And lastly, the other thing, I believe Voshkosha dolls and Gersh devices are both tacticals. I don't know why they did that. They should have made it where the Voshkosha dolls are lethals and the Gersh devices are tactical, because the Voshkosha dolls they're basically just grenades, just like an upgraded version of them. But the Gersh device is something like completely different. So I would make the Gersh device a tactical, and then you would lose your grenades, which I think is fine. You basically upgraded them. But overall, I'd say this is a pretty decent map. It's the map with the most content in it, I would say. But yeah, other than that, it is still kind of simple. That's kind of how I feel like Black Ops 1 really is. It's a lot of simpler maps, and they're kind of gradually getting a little more complicated. I feel like Pack-a-Punching is kind of getting a little stale because you've basically been doing the same thing ever since Doris, where you link 3 teleporters. Kino, you're linking a teleporter to the teleporter pad. And then in 5, you're just hitting the 5 DEFCON things. And then in this map, it's another do lunar landers. Now, I do like that 5 and Ascension do have it slightly differently, where the lunar landers, it kind of teaches you about fast travel points. And 5 is just, in that middle room, just run around the top and bottom floor of that middle section of 5, which is they're all very easy. It's not that big of a deal, but I can see the maps kind of getting a little, not stale, but they're kind of all doing very similar things, which is fine. I think I'm just trying to critique it. But yeah, other than that, I think it's a good map. I would definitely play it more. It is very easy though, so it does have that going for it, but it's not like a camping kind of easy. You still do have to train, and it's just if you get stuck, then you have a lot of ways to get out of being stuck. And that's really the only thing with it. But yeah, that's all I have to say. Let me know what you guys think of the map in the comments. And if you do like the video, feel free to like and subscribe. It means a lot to me. And I'll see you in the next one where I play Call of the Dead. See ya.